in my shoddy bag.
Okay, so yesterday you did have to do the first column. I just asked you to do this question right here. And walking around, I checked most of you got 4 minutes and 40 seconds. If you got 4:50, you're perfect. Within 10 seconds is fine. 10 seconds higher or 10 seconds lower, I'm all good with that. 20 seconds is a little bit too far off, and I don't think they're gonna give you 20 seconds, be allowed to be 20 seconds off on the regions. So 4:40 is good. Whoa, we did not go over the homework for the rest of them. So you got 9:20, we did that one together yesterday.
6:20.
6:20?
6:40.
I had 6:50.
Yeah, that's 6:55.
So you two are both good, but I'm not sure about the 6:20.
Yeah, so what should we be talking about?
Then I got 10:20.
Yeah.
You did okay on that one?
Yeah.
Then I got 1 minute even. Again, you could be 10 seconds, like 50 seconds. I don't think anybody would have gone over a minute on that one. And then we had 8 minutes even for that. We're not gonna bother with the rest of them. So if you did go on, I can give you the answers. So I saw a few of you going and doing more. I had 3 minutes even, 6 minutes even, 3:20, and then 8:40 for those of you who did it. If you didn't do it, you don't need to. Did you want me to go through any of those, or did you do okay? Awesome. All right, well then, so that was yesterday. So one thing I want to do is I want to kind of point out that we've kind of done 3 different things with this reference table so far. So let's go back up to the top of page 1, the one that I call the easy stuff. It's almost like what we're doing is like different levels of using the reference table. So I want to call this box up here, I want to call this box level 1, and I'm going to use Roman numerals just so I don't get it mixed up with other stuff. So go ahead and you do this too. Label this set of questions here, the very top of page 21, label that level 1. You did? Then the second box, I'm gonna do level 2. Again, I'm just using Roman numerals so that I don't get these numbers mixed up with any other numbers I'm using. And then if you haven't figured it out what we did yesterday, then that's level 3, sorry.
This should be level 1.
You want that because the first stuff was too easy to even give a level, is that what you're saying? Okay, so it's just taking it, going from the easiest stuff we did, taking it to a little bit harder. Then if you haven't gathered, then this is level 4, which is IV in Roman numerals. Again, just doing those Roman numerals so that we don't get those numbers mixed up with like steps or the numbers in the table. So there's really no reason other than just to keep it clear. So we need to learn basically the next step here, and that's the last real different thing we're going to do with this reference table. So remember, I said it's the hardest stuff we're going to do all year. How you feeling about that so far?
Easy.
Okay, pretty easy. The reason why I think it's hard is once we get to tomorrow when I scramble them all up on you. Okay, so we're going to start with these 4 steps, very similar to yesterday's 4 steps. Except for now, we're doing slightly different because now we're going from, yesterday, so the one we did for homework, these ones, was determining the difference in arrival time. So yesterday, we were looking for a time. Today, we're switching it up and we're looking for a distance. So today, we're saying, okay, you're standing here in Arcade and you feel a P wave. And then let's say 3 minutes and 20 seconds later, you feel an S wave. And then you think to yourself, I wonder where the earthquake is. That's what we're doing today. So slightly different than yesterday, when yesterday we knew how far away the earthquake is and we wanted to know the difference. Oh, and one thing I wanted to clear up. You guys heard of aftershocks?
Yeah.
That is not an S wave. So an aftershock is, remember when I was talking about the earthquakes, with the sliding plates, the transform plate boundaries, when they're sliding past each other? And I talked about how they sometimes get stuck and then all of a sudden release. Well, that's gonna cause an earthquake, that sudden release. Aftershocks are kind of when the plate's trying to get back into a comfortable spot. It's moving around a few more times and sending out its own set of P and S waves. P and S waves all come from the same earth shaking moment. So they're not the regular earthquake and aftershocks. They are P and S waves, which are just part of the same earthquake. So I just wanted to clear that up. All right, so now let's talk about this next set of questions, and that is determining the distance to an epicenter. Pretty much reverse of what we did yesterday. So step one this time is to place your scrap paper on the left side of the chart. So just like yesterday, we're gonna write all 4 steps first and then go practice them together. So step one is place the scrap paper on the left side of the chart. Step 2, mark the 0 and the arrival time difference on the scrap paper. Ready for step 3? Why are you smirking at me? Step 3.
Oh, God.
Okay, just like yesterday, it was one long one. And then, guys, we're only doing 4. We're not doing any more notes after that. Well, yeah, all the way done. Yep, just 5-minute lesson.
No, but then like when we practice,
We have a little bit more practice today than we have. So step 3, keep the paper vertical. Move it to the right until the top mark is touching the S wave line and the 0 mark is touching the P wave line. Take your time, write this one word for word so that you have like a perfect set of instructions when you come back to it next week and you forgot what's going on. Ready for step 4? It's a quick one. You ready? Follow the paper down, read the chart to determine the distance. So when you're done writing, grab your reference table, grab your scrap paper, we're gonna do a few examples. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to make school too much work for you. Everybody done writing? All right, let's go right ahead, right to our packet. On page 22, right below where you were just writing, we're going to do this very first one together. It says, how far away is the epicenter if the difference in arrival time is 3 minutes and 20 seconds? So we're gonna walk through the steps that we just wrote down. Step one, what was it?
Place scrap paper on the left side.
Place scrap paper on the left side of the chart. So you're gonna do this. Step two says, mark the scrap paper at the 0 and the time difference. Now I have a hint. You know how yesterday I gave some hints? Same thing today. So first of all, take your scrap paper, go to the right of the numbers so that you can see the numbers. If you even want to go over just a smidgen so you can see the little lines, that works good too. And then my other hint is, see how I physically have to label the 0? I want you to do it that way, not, here's what people do that just somehow always screws up. Don't make the very bottom corner 0. It always messes up the like estimating. So when people use the bottom corner, for some reason, they're always off by like 10 seconds, and then that will add up and add up over time. So all I want you to do is just slide it down a little bit so you physically have somewhere to label 0. So again, just marking your scrap paper at the 0. The first example we were doing was 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So like I was saying, I can't really see my 20-second mark, so I'm just gonna slide my paper over a little bit so I can see that 3:20 is that first line past 3. Notice how I label them? So I have them labeled with the 0 and the 3:20. Step 3, that long one that sounds confusing. It says keep your paper vertical and move it to the right until the top mark, so this one, is touching the S wave and the 0 mark is touching the P wave. Here's what that means. Let me put it up here so you can see everything. So I'm going to slide this up and over, keeping my paper perfectly straight up and down until I find a spot where it looks like the 0's at the P and the 3:20's at the S. So you're kind of doing up and over the chart so that these two marks perfectly line up with the P and S wave lines. Now don't write your answer down yet. So right now, I think, and maybe you can agree with me, does that look like they're in the right spot? For me, it's at the 2000 mark. Are you guys good at 2000? Here's another helpful hint because I've done this before. When you think you're where you should be, I want you to slide it up and down half a box to see if it fits better. When I go to what would be 2100, it fits even better. So go to where you think it works and then just go up or down or up and down half a box to see if it fits better. Mine fits better at 2100. So then I go back to my table, 3 minutes and 20 seconds should be 2,100 kilometers. How about we try a few more? Go ahead and we'll do 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can go to the 5-minute one. So we don't need to do all of them. Because I think if you can do 4, you can do 8, you can do 20. So you're gonna have a whole bunch of little marks on your scrap paper. Scribble them out so that you don't get confused about what mark you're using. Or in this case, you could use the same 0 mark and just start marking different differences on there. However it works for you. remember, once you're where you think it fits, just slide it up and down half a box, see if it fits a little better. As a half box. Going to the 5. What happened? Like another minute, and then we'll go through these 5, and then we'll try. Oh, they're gonna start to get, they're gonna start to get a little weird.
It's already weird.
It is weird. It's something, it's a way you've never used a graph before.
It's not that bad, it takes.
It does, yep. And what's gonna happen though is you guys are doing a great job. You have mastered level 1, 2, and walking around, it looks like you guys now have 3 and 4 just fine. What's going to be tricky is when I tell you, I just put a question up there and I don't tell you, do you do level 1, 2, 3, or 4 on them? And that's where it's gonna start getting weird, and we're gonna do a lot of practice with that too.
How can I go use the laboratory
Perfect.
devices?
All right, So I'm just about to go over these now. So that was pretty good there. Walking around, I did see a few discrepancies with the 6 minutes. When I did it, I got 4,300. So I saw some 4,400s, I saw some 4,200. Perfect. Carter, is that a problem? Okay, so 45, you're okay. Now, if all of your answers are 200 off, you're doing something drastically wrong, but having one off by 200, you're okay. So let's see what the rest of them were. I got 7,300 here. So again, if you were just off by 100, either 100 higher or 100 lower, don't worry about it. That counts as perfect. But also don't forget, guys, that whole double checking your answer. So Carter, how'd you do on that one? Okay, perfect. But again, don't forget to do that whole double checking. Once you think you're where it fits, go down half a box and up half a box. You might find out it fits better. And I bet that would have happened. Did you double check or no? Okay. All right. And then for 1020, I got 9,600. And for 1 minute, no, for 5 minutes, I got 3,600. What'd you get?
200.
Ooh, yeah, that,
That one was kind of like.
let's try it. So again, I already have a mark on here. I'm gonna just leave that so that I could always go back and double check. So I'm gonna go right up to the 5, label it. I'm gonna go up. So I said 3,600. You said 3,200. Now remember, I mean, that's not even close for me.
I'm gonna redo it.
You're gonna redo it. Okay, so 400. So 600 looks like it's okay, but now that I'm going down, 3,500 fits better for me. Either one that though is good. Did you fix it? Is it better? Okay. So like I was saying, I think you guys have mastered each little practice we've done. The hardest stuff we're gonna do all year, I think you know how to do it. It is gonna start to get a little tricky now that you know how to do it, and I'm just gonna ask you to just do this, would you? Let's go ahead and look at this question 1. Tell me how this is different. It says seismic recording station recorded the difference in arrival time of a P and S wave to be 9 minutes and 20 seconds. How far away is the epicenter from the seismic recording station? So I guess it starts with, it is this, that was gonna be my question, is which level kind of question is this? So you have to kind of go in and say, well, what did they give me? They gave me the difference in arrival times was 9 minutes and 20 seconds. It's just the same as this one. How far away is the epicenter if the difference in arrival time is? Most earth science questions are going to be word problems. So you do have to get used to looking through the word problem to see what to do. So why don't you guys go ahead and do this one? If the difference in arrival time is 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Too easy? You haven't even tried it yet. Don't tell me it's not too easy. So again, this is just like level 4, the one we just did. What'd you guys get, or aren't we there yet?
I got
8,000.
It's just 8,000 flat? 8,100. I also got 8,000 even. So no, Sarah's fine. 8,100.
Always 200 off.
You're always 200 off. I'm gonna come over and watch you do the next one, just see if there's anything we could do differently. All right, let's look at question 2. A seismic recording station recorded the difference in arrival times of a P and S wave to be 6 minutes and 40 seconds. How far away is the epicenter? Same exact question. So Carter, I'm gonna come watch you.
Now something slight. Pretty good there, we go, up to the roofs. Something slight like that. Need that, better than where you were. I got my.
No way.
Oh, you got 5.
So I think it's just the key to does it better if I keep going. So I got 5,200. Carter also got 5,200.
You are bugging.
What'd you get?
I got 5 there.
Right even? Yeah? Prove it. Go up to 200. See if it's even better.
I would like to go.
Yeah, you're definitely better. And I see how it looks over here. Looks like this could go up a tiny bit, but like I said, the one, it's okay. So maybe you might need to, like, because you're using a colored pencil, that might be affecting how your marks get written. How did everybody else, did we get around that 5,000, 5,200 mark?
Yeah.
All right, I want to try, we're gonna skip question 3. I want to take you to another tricky one. So we're only gonna do example 1, and by the way, I'm gonna go with no homework tonight. We're just doing example 1 right now. So we're on page 23, we just turned over one more page. Example 1, a seismic recording station recorded an earthquake's P wave at, this is 1 o'clock, so 1 o'clock, 0 minutes and 20 seconds. That's 1 a.m., 20 seconds after 1 a.m. is what I'm trying to say there. The S wave arrived shortly after at 1:04:40. How far away is the earthquake's epicenter from the seismic recording station? Wait. So my question is, guys, look at that question. How is that different than the last question?
Gives you times instead of gives you the.
So it gives you arrival times instead of the difference in arrival time. So instead of saying, hey kid, the difference in arrival time is 4 minutes and 20 seconds. They say, hey kid, the P wave arrives at 20 seconds after 1. The S wave arrives at 1:04:40. You need to figure out the difference in arrival time. So when we want to know difference in arrival time, what kind of math do we have to do? Subtract. What number should go on top? The big one. There's no such thing as negative time. So you always put the bigger number on top. So in this case, it's the 1:04:40. And we're going to subtract the 1:00:20. Now this is easy math.
420.
Yep. I do want to show you some tricks that are going to make tomorrow's life a little bit easier. When you're subtracting time, you know how in normal math you'd go 0 minus 0 and then 4 minus 2? You take it one bit at a time. When subtracting time, I kind of want you to keep them in groups. I want you to subtract the whole seconds minus seconds, then the minutes minus the minutes, then the hour minus the hour. So instead of doing 0 minus 0 and 4 minus 20, I want you to think of this as 40 minus 20, which yes, gives you the same answer. But tomorrow, when we take this a little bit further, you're gonna see that it matters. So, and then 4 minus 0 is 4, and then 0, 4. Now what do we do? Carter, how'd you get the next part of the answer? Because is that the final answer? You do the level 4 stuff. So take that 4 minutes and 20 seconds, mark off the 0, mark off the 420, slide her up.
That's too easy.
I did not get 39. I
got 3,000.
Oh.
I got 2,900. So your 2,800s, your 3,000s are good. But Carter, you gotta double check that halfway up and,
One went up.
okay, you gotta do both.
Wait, what'd you get?
I got 2,900 when I mark off the 0, mark off the 420. All right, so I'm good with no homework today. We're kicking this up another degree of difficulty tomorrow.
Level 5?
Technically level 5, technically what we just did here was level 5, where you actually have to do some subtracting, but it's still gonna get a little bit more difficult.
Oh my.
Oh, wait, I did want to talk about this up here. I wrote that there's a quiz on Friday. A chapter 5 quiz. Hey, off the top of your heads, who was not super happy with their grades on the quiz I handed back yesterday? Most people. So after looking at them, I'm still with you guys just didn't look up enough answers. I am not personally attacking you guys or myself, but I think you didn't look up enough answers. You tried to use your heads, which I know most teachers are like, yay, you're using your head. I'm not. I'm like, guys, don't use your head. So to kind of balance those crummy grades, I'm not wiping them clean. I'm not averaging them technically, but I am going to give you another quiz. It's going to be shorter. So not a whole period quiz. It's going to be very similar questions as to Monday's quiz. And you're going to look them up. And you're going to do better. And that bad grade and a good grade in the grade book will basically average themselves out. So I'm not completely wiping it clean. So if you did good and that was luck, you better get ready. You better review it again.
If you did good, you just.
No, if you did good, you gotta prove you still did good. So everyone's taking it and everybody's gonna do better. If you don't do better, we have a problem.
I don't wanna let you. I don't want to let you.